What was once the Polk County Courthouse now serves as the Polk County History Center and houses the Historical Museum and Library. The museum serves Polk's community through special events, volunteer opportunities, and educational programs. More details are coming up next on Polk Place. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Tina Mann, and joining me in the studio today is Murtis Young, the Historic Preservation Manager at the Polk County History Center.
Hi Tina, thanks for giving us an opportunity to come over and talk.
Welcome. So we're about to talk about the most important month of the year, which just happens to be my birthday. So how are we celebrating my birthday at the History Center?
Well, I'll tell you what, come on over starting on June 1st, Saturday at 2 o'clock and join us with our little tots, our young learners, the History Time tots, who will have a very special book to read and a very special theme. They would probably love to celebrate your birthday with you.
I'm pretty sure they would, especially if I brought cupcakes.
They would like that really well.
So it's just a really fun time at the History Center, but how has it been received so far?
We've been really excited to host some very wonderfully precious little young learners. Moms have heard about the occasion and bring their young ones in. And you know, it's just so important to us to give an opportunity for people to start very young learning about and appreciating our history and our heritage. It's been a fun program. We've had some precious little ones, wee ones in the museum, and so we will definitely continue the program.
I think that's really important that you guys are really always making sure that you have something for young people, because I know that history wasn't a super focus as I grew up. It wasn't something I enjoyed. It's not until now, as I'm older, that I appreciate it, because I never had people like you guys or a building or anything like that who encouraged me and showed me the fun side of history rather than just memorizing facts and figures. You guys do a good job of showing why it's important. So I think it's a really good time. I think that's a great way to celebrate my birthday.
Well, good. We'll look forward to having you with us.
And June also marks the end of the Race and Culture Lecture Series, so we are having the grand finale.
We are. We will be hosting, actually the theme will be on our Hispanic heritage and culture, and we are very fortunate. Carrie Sue Avar, who is really a storyteller, will be at the History Center, and she will talk about storytell and talk about the Hispanic influence in Florida. And we are just so excited to include this portion of the discussion in the Race and Culture Series. Again, that is a program, it's a lecture series that has been sponsored by or made possible by a grant from the Florida Humanities Council. And Carrie Sue, who is an award-winning storyteller from Mexico, is a part of the Florida Humanities Council Speakers Bureau. So we're really looking forward to hosting her. She's storytelling is kind of what I always like to say we do, so it's going to be nice to have an award-winning storyteller join us to talk about our Hispanic culture.
This entire lecture series has just been so fascinating and so enlightening as far as showing people what the progression of as far as history and how cultures interact, and helping to aid that conversation of you know, cultural sensitivity and appreciating other cultures. I always find it fascinating because I learn something every single time. It's just amazing to me, and I mean, you guys have been lucky enough to have this from the Florida Humanities Council, and that they've sponsored it and given you a grant to do this, and it's just another amazing program you guys have been able to offer because of them.
Thank you, Tina. It has been a great experience, a great learning experience for me as well, as we focus very specifically focus on different races and cultures, and how we came to be where we are today in Florida, how we arrived, and how we were separated and how we've come together. It's a real positive opportunity for us to learn about those differences and talk about our differences, and then celebrate the fact that we have come together and live in a fabulous state.
We do, and it also encourages us to continue to just come together and, be one culture. So it's awesome. Also, there's a secondary event related to the Race and Culture Lecture Series celebrating Latin culture. Why don't you tell us about that?
Okay, I'm really happy to announce that we are going to have it's a stage reading of a play that was written by a local playwright, and that's Gretchen Suarez Pina, and she is of Puerto Rican heritage. She is an engineer, a professional engineer here in Polk County, and we were just thrilled to learn about her and about her work because it gives us an opportunity to feature a young, up-and-coming playwright who represents another very important culture, an emerging culture in Florida. And so her play, we learned about it, actually was featured in the Ledger recently, and it's called Conversations in Bed. And of course that got everybody's attention, and I thought, now how interesting is that? Because at what point during the day do we have our most heartfelt conversations? It's really before bedtime, when children are asleep and work is done, and what is on your mind and what are you thinking about? Gretchen wrote this play, and it features 4 couples in a comical and actually engaged in universal conversations that all people have. So what we're going to, that people have before going to sleep, the things that are on the top of your mind when you put your head down on the pillow with, your most comfortable partner. So we have these 4 couples, and we will hear parts of their conversations, and that gives us an opportunity one more time to have conversations across race and cultural boundaries. And I think it's going to be a really fun evening, and I would encourage everybody to come join us as we feature a local, professional young woman who is an up-and-coming playwright.
Sounds like a lot of fun. So it's important to mention the first part, the regular lecture, is going to be on June 4th. Again, that's always at 5:30. And then the other is actually going to be on Friday.
Thank you. It is. It's a Friday evening event, 5:30 on Friday. 5:30
or 6?
I'm sorry, yes. The Tuesday is 5:30. Friday is at 6.
Excellent. Yeah,
join us at 6. Yes.
Yeah, join us at 6. So that's Friday, June 7th, the day before my birthday. So sounds like a good way to have a little bit of a birthday date night.
Tina, we'll be celebrating your birthday at the History Center. Look at all the opportunities we've done just for you to come celebrate your birthday.
And of course, one of my favorite things is coming up on June 15th, which is the architectural tour.
We are continuing to enjoy that, and we are continuing to grow our audience for that tour. It is a curated tour of the building and a discussion about the architecture itself, the original designs. We are sitting in the 3rd building that was built on this site of land that was donated by Jacob Summerlin, and we also have an opportunity to feature the architectural preservation that occurred in the late 1980s before we opened as the History Center, the Museum and Genealogical Library. So that is fun. We gather in the Rotunda at 11, and it is fun for us because almost every tour someone asks a question that we either hadn't thought about or we learn about. And just recently we learned that the courthouse, when it was built in 1908, had fireplaces, which you don't see today because they're gone, but they're chimneys. The chimney, yeah. So we learned about that and talked about that. So we always have conversations and questions that trigger thoughts and discussion, so we learn things new every month. Beautiful, beautiful, one of the most significant architectural structures in Polk County. Have an opportunity to come and walk around and learn more about it, touch and feel.
Speaking of learning more about the History Center and its archives, we're having yet another installment of the Out of the Archives lecture series, and Maria's coming back this month.
Maria Tripp, our curator of collections, will be back with us in June, and this time she's finding things in our archives that all have to do with household gadgetry, and she's going to bring some of those things out, and I can tell you there are a few real surprises of early inventions, particularly curling waves to get curls in ladies' hair, and the amazing equipment they sat under to achieve
Is that the
in
electric
beauty.
chair?
That's the electric chair. It looks like the electric chair. So we have some very interesting items, early appliances that were used to help ladies as they prepared meals and took care of their households. And so we're going to talk about those items.
It's so funny looking at recent technology and how far we've come with everything and how everything's computerized. And you look back at some of what they were newfangled back then, with these crazy ideas that people came up with. Some of the exercise machines. I remember seeing a video of the belt that used to just shake you. They thought that would actually do something. So it's just fascinating, and I would love to hear the story behind that thing, because the first time I ever walked through the archives, I was like, why do you have like an electric chair? I thought it was some kind of torture device. So
It looks like it.
I can't even imagine living back then and some of the stuff they came up with. Also in June, we're going to be starting some genealogy workshops. So why don't you tell us a little about Preston and what his ideas are?
Preston Petermeyer is our genealogy and research historian. He has a master's in history, and that is his field, and we're very fortunate that Preston has joined us within the last year. And as he has embraced the collection in the library, he's come up with ideas also to share information, knowledge, and resources with the public. So he is launching in June, late June, a new program that will be about genealogy, genealogical research, and not only genealogy, but how to conduct historical research, how to use the items in the library and research family history or house history. So we're really pleased about that is coming online for people, because it's a great, we're finding that people are becoming more and more interested in family history or history of the early community. As people move into the area, they want to know more about the community. So we're very pleased. Preston Petermeyer, genealogy and research historian, will be featuring some learning opportunities in June.
Sounds excellent. I know that's going to continue through July and August as well. So everybody needs to keep an eye out, and we'll be releasing information on that soon.
We will, and we'll talk about that again. Yes.
All right. Well, June sounds like a fabulous month, which should be for my birthday. So we thank you for coming out.
Thank you, Tina.
Polk County has a rich history and heritage, and the Polk County History Center is continuously thinking of new ways to help Polk residents experience that history. The museum's collection includes natural and cultural objects related to Polk and the greater Central Florida area that represent our history from pre-Columbian to present-day eras. The artifacts on display at the museum represent individuals, cultural groups, and events significant to the region. Located at 100 East Main Street in Bartow, the History Center is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. For more information about exhibits and events, you can check them out on the web at polkhistorycenter.org or give them a call at 863-534-4386.